One of my favorite things about the NFL is getting crushed by 2 tons of irony. So everyone and their mom who are Vikings fans was complaining about the prehistoric Zimmer run, pass, punt offense. It's like, I got to stop running the ball. We got to open up the offense. We got to slang it with Justin friggin' Jefferson. We have to get after it, man. But through 2 games, the Minnesota Vikings are 29th in the NFL in terms of rushing attempts, 4th worst in the National Football League, or 4th fewest. And Dalvin Cook has yet to really find his footing. He had probably the quietest 100-yard scrimmage game week 1 against the Packers, and then he set a career low in terms of carries with 6 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, a lot of that was game flow, but either way, it didn't quite work out. And it does seem like everyone does know that the Vikings have to get back to where they once belong, running the ball to a degree, to open up the passing game, by the way. Yes. That's what they need to do. Thompson, Pioneer Press, go. Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell on Dalvin Cook. I got to do a better job of making sure I get him in a rhythm. And also, he continued, I think he's been close to breaking some runs, and he has. Dalvin, especially in the Packers game, is just like, that was close, man. And it was overshadowed by Justin Jefferson's amazing freaking game. And the first half against the Eagles, 4 3-and-outs in the first half really negated things. Also getting down 24-7. Vikings having to get one-dimensional, and then Dalvin Cook getting taken out of the running game. It just didn't quite work out. But Dalvin, of course, humble, leader, team captain, etc. He knows what he's got to do as well. Thompson again. Dalvin Cook on helping Cousins. We got to just make plays. The people that got the ball in their hands and are supposed to have the ball in their hands got to take care of the ball, and I'm one of those guys. I got to take care of the ball and make sure I make my plays. So he knows that he needs to make the most of his opportunities as well. Dalvin had 2 drops in the Eagles games, and you just see so far, like, Dalvin is not off to a fantastic start. And I ain't even just talking about fantasy football, because there's a lot of people who took Dalvin top 3 in fantasy football. Not saying who, but but like we mentioned, a career low 6 carries against Philadelphia week 2. The season, he only has 26 carries for 107 yards rushing, 4.1 yards per carry. He has been targeted 11 times in the passing game, 7 catches for 37 yards, 0 goose egg, D'Angelo Russell touchdowns, either rushing or receiving. But what has been interesting is that all the ballyhooed, hey, Dalvin's going to be a receiver, we're going to use that skill set more. We've seen some of it, but we haven't seen a ton of it. So of his 90 snaps over 2 weeks, 73 have been in the backfield, 17 have been either a combination of out wide in the slot or in line. So Kevin O'Connell knows that he has to get Dalvin in a rhythm. He's got to get it going, because Dalvin getting the ball, even though this is a Justin Jefferson offense and a Kirk Cousins offense, I mean, Dalvin still is that straw that stirs the drink. And we're just getting back to running the ball, aren't we? And by the way, Kevin O'Connell came from the Rams offense. They want to run the ball, whether it's Cam Akers, whether it's Darnell Henderson, because it really does open things up. Number 1 is time of possession. You saw how it really got away from the Vikings, and it certainly doesn't help going 3-and-out. But losing that TOP 2-1 in the first half, Eagles had about 20 minutes. The Vikings had 10. That certainly hurt things. But putting together a drive, especially in an environment like in Philly, where Dalvin was pounding away on the rock, if he was getting 6, 7, 8, 9 yards per carry, just be able to take the crowd out of it. You go on a long, 8, 9, 10-minute touchdown drive, just really deflates the opposition. And of course, when you're at home, just keep hammering, man. Absolutely. Number 2, play action play, because Kirk Cousins, he is one of the best play action quarterbacks in the National Football League. I don't want that to get away from the Vikings. Plus, like I said, when the Vikings got one-dimensional against the Eagles, play action went away, because the Eagles know that you're throwing the ball. And Jonathan Gannon, who necessarily doesn't blitz all the time, he brought the heat and then put that offensive line under stress and put Kirk Cousins under duress, and of course gave up the interceptions. It was a whole mess. Number 3, takes the heat off of Jefferson. So when you know that you're going to pass, you can align your cornerbacks, you can align the secondary to be able to take care of Jefferson the most. And you need to punish teams that double or bracket Jefferson, really taking an extra man out of the box. Like, they need, Dalvin needs to make them pay. Also wearing down the front sevens, and also, by the way, the Vikings offensive line, for as bad as they've been in pass protection the last couple of years, especially notably the interior pass protection, they've been good at running the ball. So the Minnesota Movement Company is back in business, baby. They need to get after it there. Number 5, he's freaking good. Like, he's Dalvin freaking Cook. And 4-4-4 needs to get more 6s, put up more touchdowns, and just really get after it. Because, I mean, as good as this offense is, Dalvin Cook should not be an afterthought. And whether it's using him as a running back, whether it's using him off of play action, whether it's using him out wide, which I would love to see more of, or hell, just using him more in screens. Just getting him involved that way, lining him up in the slot or receiver, running some jet sweeps, just finding creative ways to get Dalvin the ball, especially in space. He can make some big-time plays. So I'm not ready to go back to this, but we are starting to get close. Either way, 4-4-4 has to have a big game. I'm predicting it because usually the one that really needs to eat gets to eat first. And I think that Dalvin is going to have a big-time game against the Lions. He's traditionally done very well in the past. But your thoughts are thoughts. The Vikings need to get Dalvin Cook, number 4, going. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.